Welcome to 32 and 32, where we count.
Anyway, that's beside the point. At the end of the day, it's a business.
If you're the Rams, you are officially coming off the absolute worst performance in the Super Bowl ever. I think Robert Kraft is peas in someone else's pod.
I mean, y'all Super Bowl wins are so old. I mean, the rings are probably to dust right now. So,
Not about the Eagles today. We're talking about the Bears.
Yeah. So, as usual, let's take a look first at their free agent signings. Thanks for watching, folks. That is today's analysis of the Minnesota Vikings. Welcome to 32 and 32, where we cover one team every day for 32 straight days, all leading up to the Thursday night kickoff of the 2019 season. Today's team is the Miami Dolphins.
The Sons of South Beach.
Okay. So the Dolphins didn't have the worst season last year, but they are far from being a good team.
They are going through a serious rebuilding process. This rebuilding process is going to take a few years.
Let me just say this. The best and quite frankly only good moves they made this season was making a change at quarterback where they let Tannehill go and then traded for Josh Rosen for only a second-round pick.
I mean, yeah, that was actually a pretty good deal. You got Josh Rosen.
I mean, you couldn't even convince Teddy Bridgewater to come away from being a backup to Drew Brees to be your starter.
It's just I really don't have a lot of faith in their front office. And to be quite honest, this rebuild, because after they let Tannehill go and they made a change at head coach, I was like, okay, Miami, they getting with it. They would be somewhat ahead of schedule. But just seeing the moves they made, okay, don't get me wrong, they're on the right track, and it's going to take them a while for them to find their identity as a team.
Well, they need to add a lot more, impact players on both sides of the ball first.
They need improvement on every position possible.
So, what can we say about Miami for this year?
We already covered it in our schedule breakdown.
Right.
And we looked at Miami's schedule. This Dolphins team, they are going to go through what I like to call a crucible.
Yeah, I mean, this Miami team opens up with what?
The Patriots.
The Patriots, the Cowboys.
The Ravens.
And
the Chargers.
Chargers.
That's the first 4 games of the season.
And don't they also play the Eagles? Yeah. The Eagles are playing the AFC East this coming season.
And I feel sorry for Miami because this would be like one of the wrong seasons to have one of the hardest schedules in the league, considering what you're going through as a team as far as the rebuilding process. But at the same time, this can really help the front office gauge, okay, this is what we can sustain. This is what we have to improve. This is a position that we need to improve in. This is where this is a bright spot from last season. But it's safe to say that there's a lot of work to be done in South Beach.
You know, I was like, what some of the moves that they made last season, or the start of last season, they signed Danny Amendola, 1-year contract, one and done. They traded for Robert Quinn, then trade him out of Miami for a 6th-round pick.
Which that was just absurd. I mean, Robert Quinn is a damn good defensive end. So why trade him for a 6th-round pick? If you're going to trade him, at least trade him for what? At least a few 2nd and 3rd-round picks, maybe. Not for a 6th-round pick. So Miami had the raw end of that deal.
Okay, let's look at their free agency.
Not a lot.
Dwayne Allen, tight end. Eric Rowe, cornerback. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And Ryan Fitz temporary magic. Yeah, you liked that one, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I actually liked that a lot. So yeah, if Fitz magic is on, I guess they can come out pretty strong You can maybe get 4 good games out of him.
Well, but if he starts stinking up the joint, then you put in Josh Rosen and pray that he's learned from his mistakes from his rookie season. I mean, with Josh,
don't play in Arizona.
That's one.
Mistake number 1.
Well, but that really wasn't Josh Rosen's fault. I mean, Arizona selected him. He got sent to Arizona. So
Right.
It really wasn't his fault. I blame it more on the Arizona front office because it's like Arizona, they're rushing to rebuild as quick as possible. But enough by Arizona. We already covered them. So it's basically for Miami fans. I just want to let you know for this season, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. That's pretty much the moral for the upcoming season for the Miami Dolphins.
I think Dolphins fans have pretty much got used to that by now. That's every season right now.
Well, I mean,
Until they make some major reshuffles in the front office, I think that's going to be every year.
because I mean, first off, I mean, why? I mean,
This rebuild does not start on the field. It starts up in the booth.
how you think the Saints have
In the owner's thingamajig.
Well, you can never change the owner. I mean, that's the owner. He owns the team.
I know, but you always got your GMs and
your VPs and all that.
and all that. So until they change that room up, I do not see Miami getting anywhere.
Me neither. I mean, it's just I just feel sorry for this Miami team because, I mean, all right. So I'm not gonna lie. This Miami team does have a lot of potential. I mean, you do have Devontae Parker. I mean, you got Kenny Stills. You got Josh Rosen. You got Kenyon Drake. This Miami team showed a lot of potential last season. And it's just at some point during the season, they just completely fell off. I mean, Ryan Tannehill couldn't stay healthy, and they just couldn't stay consistent. And it's just, I don't know where this Miami team is going. I mean, I just see them. I mean, in my opinion, this Miami team can win anywhere between 3 to up to the most, maybe 5 games next season.
All right, take a look real quick at their draft. Like we said, they traded away. No, they traded for Josh Rosen, so that was kind of like their pick at the top of the draft. But other than Christian Wilkins out of Clemson, I'm not too familiar with this lineup here.
Myles Gaskin from Washington, I believe.
Oh, that's right, Myles Gaskin.
He was actually a huge force for the Huskies offense, especially playing with a quarterback like Jake Browning. So, I mean, I feel having Myles Gaskin and Kenyon Drake in the backfield, I feel that, I feel it could take a lot of pressure off the quarterback position, and I feel that this offense can show some potential in moving the ball up and down the field. With Christian Wilkins on the defensive line, I mean, I'm pretty sure that he's going to be a starter, from the jump, that he's going to be an immediate impact player on that defense. And the coaching staff, I feel, is going to look to Wilkins from the very jump to be that X factor in their defense.
Yeah. So, I mean, quite honestly, like we said, this team's a work in progress, and I just continue to feel that label, how long that label stays on this team will depend on the brass.
And well, I mean, there has to be a change in the brass because until then, it's gonna be fans just like we know that we are working. Like the fans, here's how the fans are feeling. We know we are work in progress. But where's the progress?
Yeah.
Like we know there's going to be a rebuild, but when is it coming? Like when are we going to have rebuild?
And nothing. I don't think anything would prove that point more than if Adam Gase actually does well in New York.
So if Adam Gase does well in New York, that's just going to prove that Miami should have not fired him, I guess.
That's going to prove that there's more wrong with the organization than what's on the field.
That's true. I mean, all right. So, Adam Gase doing well in New York. If Adam Gase does well in New York, that's going to be contributed. That's going to be dedicated, pretty much contributed to the front office because the front office made moves. The front office filled in holes that the Jets were going through on the field. Adam Gase actually has a lot more to work with in New York than he did in Miami. I mean, Adam Gase, I feel that the reason why Miami let him go I mean, he was dealt a pretty bad hand in Miami.
You
He
think?
didn't. I mean, he didn't have, much to work with. I mean, he just had to play the hand that he was dealt. I mean, but that's if. I mean, that point will be proven if New York does well this season.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I don't think that Miami's going to really challenge for a playoffs. I mean, I can expect them to go 8-8 at best.
8 and wow, you can give him that many wins? 8
I said at best.
at best. At best, I have him 6-10. At very very best, 6-10.
Well, fair enough. Well, there's not a whole lot more to say about Miami other than another typical season in Miami, which hosts the Super Bowl this year. And we'll see if the 72 team pops the champagne again.
Well, hell will have to freeze over, and I need to see some pigs flying in the air. I don't see a pig with wings yet. I don't see anybody trying to make airship wings, makeshift wings on a pig. And from my recollection from when I was a kid, hell is still pretty hot.
All right. Well, thanks for watching this episode of 32 and 32. We'll catch you tomorrow with the Minnesota Vikings.